Hey guys, I hope you are doing well. This video is not going to be as professional as some I've done in the past. Well, I wouldn't call any of them professional, but I'm not using my normal setup because the pieces are scattered and I need to get that back out and get it set up. But I just wanted to give you a couple of updates and give you a little bit of an introduction and explanation on our speaker for our summer series for this Wednesday night tonight. First of all, I want to remind you that to keep in your prayers those of our members that are struggling with COVID-19. That includes the Stevenses, William and Shannon Stevens. Especially, I think Shannon is struggling a little bit with a cough, and so let's continue to pray for their speedy recovery and to be back in action soon. We also want to continue to pray for Sharon Dickens and Harold Searcy. I do believe they both sound like they've about got this thing kicked, but we want to just, we don't want to make any assumptions, and we want to keep praying for those people. It's also come to my attention that Sandra Crawford had tested positive, so I definitely want to keep Sandra in our prayers as well. And I'd also like to remind you to keep Wanda Terrell in your prayers. Her son is struggling with the cancer right now, and I believe they're in need of our prayers. So please keep those people in mind. Carol Williams continues to send out the prayer list that has kind of an extended prayer list, so you can keep a watch on that and to keep all those people on their list in mind as well. Certainly, that's something that we can do from wherever we're at, and it's a blessing that we have to be able to go to God in prayer. Also, like to mention, I guess I should have mentioned as well, to keep Wayne Miller in your prayers. He was supposed to be our speaker tonight, and he has actually tested positive for the coronavirus as well, so he was not able to be with us. And Gary Hampton was supposed to be with us next week. When I called Gary and was talking to him about what was going on, didn't see any use for him driving up from Mississippi to be in an empty auditorium. And so I was going to give Gary the option to either do Wayne's lesson for tonight, 2 Timothy, or he could do the Titus lesson that he was planning on doing for next week. He gave me door number 3, which was to send me lessons for both nights, which would be 2 Timothy for tonight and Titus for next week. And that's great, and that's a wonderful blessing. And one of the reasons that I jumped at this, Gary was the director at the East Tennessee School of Preaching when I started there, and he taught 1 and 2 Timothy and Titus. And those classes, Gary's class on that was no doubt in my mind one of the favorites among the students while I was in school there. So to me, it's a treat to get to hear Gary delivering lessons from 2 Timothy and Titus over the next couple of weeks. Just want to give you a little bio information on Gary Hampton aside from what I'd given you before. Gary C. Hampton preaches for the Sywell Road Church of Christ in Jackson, Mississippi. He preached his first sermon in 1968 and has worked in North Little Rock, Arkansas, Mobile, Alabama, Valdosta, Georgia, Cookeville, Tennessee. Gary has also served as the director of the Southeast Institute of Biblical Studies, where he was director for 6 years. He has written 21 books, or has 21 books in print, and writes for The Spiritual Sword and The Voice of Truth International. He has preached in 31 states and 7 foreign countries. Gary and his wife, Teresa, have 2 children, Nathan and Tabitha, and they're just a wonderful Christian couple, and I believe you'll be blessed by the lessons that Gary has to bring us over the next couple of weeks. And so when it is opportunity for you this evening, I hope that you will take opportunity to get in some worship to God and to get in some Bible study for your midweek. And I believe that you'll have something to gain from these lessons that Gary has sent to us. So thank you once again. I pray that you have a blessed week.